Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's full-time reaction to Celtic 2, Atletico Madrid 2 at Celtic Park. I've got Martin and Darren with me to go over, Martin, what I thought was a pulsating game of football. A tremendous first half performance for Celtic. I thought the best we've played at that level in a long time. Atletico come back second half. What a game.
Mixed emotions going into that game. Trepidation because you're playing one of the best sides in Europe. A side that I think if they win their game in hand, they'll go top of arguably the best league in the world. So you come into it excited, mixed emotions, thinking, please don't let it be a heavy defeat. Expecting to get something out of the game, probably not. Some fans think we'll get hammered, but the positive fans, like we are sometimes, thinking, we've got a wee chance. Listen to Brendan Rodgers, Paul, I know you were at the press conference where he talked about we'll play the Celtic way, we'll play with confidence, we'll play offensively, we don't know how to play another way, and I'm thinking, I'm not so sure how this game's going to go. But what a game, what a night, what an atmosphere. I wish we could do it all again. I enjoyed it, from start to finish. I suppose a bit of nervousness at the end. Was it going to be another Lazio? Were they going to nick a goal? But you could actually tell with the fans. Half the fans are saying go forward and half the fans are saying we'll take the draw. Thanks very much. But what a night. I absolutely loved every second of it. I just wish we could go back in and do it all again. This is what we look forward to. And I know we've come away with 1 point, a little bit disappointed we didn't get the victory, but I loved it, Paul. What an occasion.
Aye, it was brilliant, Darren. It is 1 point, not all three, but I thought we got off to the perfect start in the game. We've been starting games well. Tynecastle, we started the Lazio game really well, and we get the perfect start with Kyogo's goal, and it's an excellent goal, an excellent team goal. The ball goes up to Maeda, he knocks it down to Kyogo, and then it's 2-1-2s with Matt O'Reilly. O'Reilly's pass again, similar to the Lazio game, first time, absolutely times it to perfection. Kyogo's movement, and he does so well to finish it, and that just gave us a real platform at the start of the game.
Is it too late for Matt O'Reilly to make shortlist for the Ballon d'Or? How good has he been recently, honestly? But what you said, Paul, I think the first 5 minutes, even just before the goal, we kept a lot of possession, but mostly in our own half. It's not really a bad thing, but then we started upping the intensity a wee bit, and like you say, that transition going forward, those sharp little 1-2s. It's not something you see from Celtic at this level, but when we do pull it off, it ends up being a goal. And that kind of momentum continued at the first half. We were actually, people were just, I could hear guys behind me going, get a second, they'll crumble. And it's probably true, but obviously we're playing a top quality team, and we bit gutted to give away a goal at a penalty. I've not seen it back, but the message I got said it was a penalty, so can't really grumble with that. A bit unlucky for Joe Hart to save it, and just for Griezmann to score a rebound. But to give Celtic credit, they responded fantastically. I think it was 3 or 4 minutes before Palma scored that terrific goal, and we kept up that intensity going into half time. But I think coming back out for a second half, subconsciously you're coming back out thinking, let's just hold on for a win, whereas the other team are kind of thinking, right, let's push here. And I think we kind of gassed about maybe 60 minutes. It was kind of at the same time that Atletico Madrid got that goal. I think we were kind of starting to feel the worst that a team that quality could maybe go and score another 2, but I'm sure we'll talk about it. Brendan Rodgers changing the system for the first time, going to a back 5. Grumbling's run about fans as well, because it's not normally the Celtic way to go to a back 5, especially in Europe. But to me it worked. It wasn't exciting because we were under the cosh for 20 minutes.
Got us a foothold again. Got us a foothold in the game again.
I agree. It just let it calm down. And I thought it was like before that midfielder, DePaul, was that his name? Yeah. He gets sent off. I thought it was just like there was nothing to the game. Yeah. And then he gets sent off. You're thinking, try and push your team up for a winner, but they look dead in their feet by the end of the game. And I think they're probably thinking about Lazio as well, just not wanting to lose it in the last minute. So a lot of positives, mate. And against a team like that, I'm happy with a draw. It's that first point on the board in the group as well, and I think we can maybe push on for that. We're still in it because Lazio have only got 4 points.
Yeah. Martin, just on the penalty, I don't know what your view of it was, but I think Taylor just gets wrong side and he hooks his right leg round to try and get the ball, and he doesn't get it. On live viewing, it maybe looked a bit soft, but when you get wrong side, you're asking for trouble.
It's hard to criticise anybody tonight. It's hard to criticise that team, that manager, the way the teams play, and the improvement that you see week on week. We talked a lot about Hearts, some of the games prior to that. You can just see the progression that's happening with Brendan Rodgers, but also with that group of players.
Palma, I thought he's looking better and better as the games go by.
We could go through every single player in that team right now, couldn't we? O'Reilly's like a different player. I know we talk about him an awful lot. Palma, as you say, he's not got that pace, but he's got the finish. The energy in that team is just incredible. I know a lot of it comes through Maeda in particular, and the movement of Kyogo, but just across the whole team. And I'm loath to criticise anybody, and it's not meant to be a criticism, but if there was a tiny weakness in that team tonight, it was Taylor.
I agree.
But I don't want to criticise him, because again, he's on a journey and he's developing as a player. I do sometimes think that on that other side, Johnson benefits from Maeda, and he himself, I got the opportunity to speak to players after the last Champions League game, And that was mentioned about, Alistair Johnson, how lucky he is to have Maeda, because he tracks back and the energy and etc. Where Taylor's not quite got that on his side. But the penalty, Joe Hart, I've seen some of his post-match just there as the players were walking around the pitch and he was getting interviewed, and he talked about it being a soft penalty. He didn't deny it was a penalty, and he said it was soft, and I think it was, but I don't think anybody's denying it was a penalty, but it was soft. And as you say, he just kind of got caught out. But what I think Atletico tried to do after that is they tried to target that area of the pitch. They tried to come up that right-hand side, and for prolonged periods, as Dan said earlier on in that second half, they penned us in, but they penned us in particular in that area of the pitch. And of course for the second goal, it came across that side as well, albeit similar to, I think it was a goal against Lazio, where the ball comes across on that side, but the player that receives the ball's got absolutely acres of space, and you're thinking, where's the defensive players on our right-hand side as opposed to the left-hand side? So, but as I say, loads to criticise any players, because what a fantastic team performance overall.
Aye, absolutely. Darren, you could tell Atletico, they've got so much firepower. Every time the ball went into Griezmann and you felt like something might happen, and they did just push up an extra 10 yards at the start of that second half, and once they get the equaliser, just that 10-minute spell, you feared they could maybe take the game away from us.
Watching Griezmann live there, he's one of the best players I've seen in recent years. His movement is fantastic. But I think, you're right, but that we've also got to give Celtic credit for that, because very little often do we have to go through a situation like that where we're penned back, and then bringing on the likes of Nat Phillips and keeping the three at the back. That was a big gamble for Brendan Rodgers.
Takes off Palma,
exactly, and then you're sacrificing your width then, because you've got no wingers, and then you're putting Maeda up top, who, he's quick, but is he a central striker? He's not got the ability to hold the ball up, and he looked dead on his feet because of the running he'd done in the first half. So basically, it was kind of getting that point where we're pushed back to 6 yards, we've managed to just get a clearance. They would just start for the back again because we're getting no out ball. But credit to the resilience of the team.
Martin, I thought we did just look dead on our feet. Like 70, 75 minutes we were going. Maeda, Johnston, the team did put so much into that first half, and as I said, they were incredible. We were much the better team. Best we've played at a long time at this level, but that's also the challenge at this level. When you put so much in and you do so much pressing, might catch up with you in the second half, especially when Atletico are having spells with the ball and you need to defend and you need to keep moving.
Aye, and I thought we obviously utilised the subs to try and bring a bit of freshness and keep the tempo. The players that came on weren't necessarily same type, like Forrest, for example, just using him as one of the players that came on. But that helped us a little bit. But I think it's an interesting dynamic, right? Because if you're Atletico, do you need to go and get that victory? The way the league's sitting as well, and that's often the case. Sometimes you'll get people saying, that one of the teams with a lot of possession. Well, they have a lot of possession because of the scoreline in the game, or whoever it is to chase the game. Yeah. But I do think we're tired. The thing that's made me extremely proud in this campaign, the cynics will say 1 point out of 9, not good enough. You can't compete at that level. But there's not been a single game out of 3 games we've had so far that we've not competed during the 90 minutes. And we've just struggled to score more than the opposition, or as many goals as the opposition, albeit tonight we achieved that. But I just think as each game's gone on, the Feyenoord game, a wee bit of sob story. We then go into the Lazio game, I thought we were better, albeit you're at home and you've got the fantastic Celtic support behind you, but I thought the Lazio game we were better than the Feyenoord game, and I thought tonight we were better than the Lazio game. This is a team that are progressing. And in the early stages of the season we had a lot of players who were injured. Carter Vickers, for example, in that last game, that's his first game back. And then tonight you see a different Carter Vickers because he's got a few games under his belt.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just need a wee bit of luck where, Brendan Rodgers has come in, he wants to lay down his style. It's slightly different to Dan's style, and it takes a bit of time to achieve that and then get used to the personnel. We've brought in a lot of new players again, so you're trying to settle those players into the team, and then you're getting your players back from injury. So all those 3 key ingredients, components, get you to where you need to be success-wise, and we've achieved a hell of a lot in a short period of time. Aye,
absolutely, Darren. Obviously, DePaul gets sent off, and as Martin mentioned earlier, the crowd are willing the team on. Can we go and try and find a winner? Because 3 points would have been huge, but it's so important not to lose it, because that point keeps us alive in the group.
Aye, and I think you could I was nervous as hell, right? And you could tell that those nerves were making their way onto the pitch with the players. There was obviously those opportunities because we were getting the balls out wide to Johnson, even Nat Phillips. He was coming up with him. Yeah. But there's always that chance. I even said that, see the very last minute before they blow the full-time whistle, Atletico Madrid get a bit of a break. Matt O'Reilly's chasing the guy. I was like, just clip your heels, take a foul. Take a foul.
I think half the crowd screaming foul.
Aye. So it's just those little risks like that. Obviously, we don't want what happened against Lazio to happen again, because I want him I went home that night and I just wanted the ground to swallow me up. So, and you can always just go away from a game like this against Atletico Madrid, as you said, fighting for top, one of the best leagues in Europe. That'll give players a lot of confidence, I think, man. Like going for, I know we've got to go there in 2 weeks. Realistically, we're probably not going to get nothing from it. But even just that point just gets a foot in the door in the group. Lazio, we've got Feyenoord. You know, I think we're all now Feyenoord fans as well. So the group's kind of split in two. So you know, we're going to try and get Europa League. It's obviously a lot of football still to play. It's going to be a lot of hard games, but you know, let's push the team on.
Aye, and Martin, I think you're right. You can see the progress the team is making, and it's good for them to stop the rot of defeats. Because you didn't want to come away again. Brilliant first half performance, competed well, but 0 points on the board, and we haven't done that tonight. Can you single somebody out for us in terms of Celtic man of the match?
Oh, that's a real tough one tonight. I was just going to say before we do it, if you don't mind, Paul, I think the Lazio game's looking like a real tasty one now, isn't it? Just with the sequence of the games coming up. So Atletico away, as you say, Darren, we'll go to Madrid and we'll party and we'll enjoy everything that comes with Madrid. You know, I can't wait for that trip now. And who knows? You know, we've been to Barcelona and got big results and that. We're a different team in a different era and all that sort of stuff. But we've done it in the past. But with those that were in Lazio that night, that famous night when we got that result, you know, here's hoping that history repeats itself. And why not with this fantastic group of players? So I can't wait for both those trips. But man of the match tonight, I don't know who got the man of the match in the stadium, I've no idea, but I was really pleased with Maeda and his work ethic tonight. There was spells in the game in the first half where the amount of running that he did was just incredible, and he was involved in, you know, some of the chances that we had in the periods of play before the goals. So probably for me, Maeda, just because of the energy he brought to that team, and really that was what got the crowd up, and that was what got us so much from that first half, is just the energy levels and the urgency in the team. So I think Maeda set the standard from that perspective. So for me, it would be Maeda.
Yeah, Darren, man of the match.
I narrowed it down to two. Honourable mention has to be Matt O'Reilly. That assist speaks for itself, but I thought just his all-round play, I think the confidence that's oozing from him, it's just getting better and better. The top scorer in the league, not even just his goals, his all-round plays. I think the sky's the limit for him now. We need to fend off for the big fish in the Premier League in January, I think. So let's hope we can keep him as long as possible. But I'm going to say Liam Scales. I've said this every single time, and I'll say it again. He's been completely written off by Celtic fans, but now is he one of those first names in the team sheet? I think he's won over every single Celtic fan now, and he's well in that place in the spot. He's played well against Feyenoord, Lazio, and tonight. So got to be Liam Scales again. Yeah,
Scales an honourable mention for me. I'm just going to give it to O'Reilly. There you go, that's it for a full-time reaction to Celtic 2, Atletico Madrid 2. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you at the weekend for the build-up to Easter Road. Thank you.